But we are back with another epic resin art video. Many of you will remember this. I'm kind of going back, quite far back, with an experiment I did quite some time ago by pouring my UV resin in some bath and shower gel, shampoo, that works. And we created some absolutely incredible pieces of freeform resin art. Now, sorry, I paused there. my brain was wandering. What we're going to do today is the same thing, but we're going to try and make some freeform jewelry, because these you can't really use these as jewelry pieces. What I want to do is try and make some kind of like pendants. But what we're going to do differently today is we're actually going to finish them off. So they're not going to look like this. I'm hoping I can bounce some color all the way through these and make them absolutely incredible. So let's get started. And if you're lucky, I might try and make one or two big pieces, ornamental pieces. So I have just a clear cup. This will help the UV light penetrate through the shampoo to cure the UV resin. Almost dropped my shampoo. Oh, whatever it is, bath and shower gel. So just gonna fill up my cup. Again, I mentioned this in a previous experiment with this. You can pour this back into the bottle. Just don't go using it again in your bath or on your hair. Label it up. Yeah, easier just to take off the lid. Now, if you're new to my channel and you haven't seen me do this, it's not possible with epoxy. Because the epoxy is going to sink and just blob at the bottom. It won't cure in time before it sinks, before gravity takes its toll. This will only work with UV resin. At the moment, I mean, unless you've got a colossal, huge, big, deep, maybe 100-foot vat of shampoo, it's not going to work. And to the side here, well, that was like Jurassic Park, when the dinosaurs walking towards the car. It's just a big mixing cup full of water, so I can retrieve my pieces from here and just pop them in there just to get all the shampoo off. And out comes the beast of a lamp, because I'm going to be standing this up to blast the UV light through the cup. I'm going to be putting on some eye protection. I have some goggles which prevent UV light from harming my eyes, but I will also make sure that it's not angled towards me. Eye protection, remember, you don't want to damage your eyes. So I'm using the Resin Rockers UV resin for this, and all I'm going to do, I'm probably going to get some fails. I haven't done this for such a long time. All I'm going to do is just start dripping my UV resin on the surface and make a circular design. I will show you from the top on a couple of other pieces. I really am just randomly drizzling that on. Then I can take my lamp and turn it on. Okay, let's see what we've got. You'll notice if you watch my previous videos, I turned my lamp on a lot sooner this time, and there's a reason for that, because I want a flat back, and I'll show you in a second. Let's pop that in the water. Just give that a swoosh around to get all of the bath gel, shower gel. I'm just going to call it shampoo, guys. So you'll see there's a flat back. Now, the longer I leave it to turn my lamp on, that flat back will disappear when the resin goes below the surface. So by keeping the resin quite shallow in the shampoo, it gives us a flat back, so I can then finish that backing off to really bring out some color in these pieces. So I've just dried that off, and you can see, it's a one-of-a-kind piece. And lots of people see different things, but I like to see these round blob areas as heads. So I begin to start seeing body shapes. It's like there could be someone laying down there. It's almost like they're kissing. That's really cool. and no piece will ever be the same. So yeah, we've got the flat back now, so we can do something with the back of that. Now the longer, like I said, the longer you leave them in there, they sink and create different formations, and you can turn your lamp on at different timings depending on how big or small you want your piece. So when I finished this piece off, I ended up with a drizzle in the middle. So I've got a small area to work with, but not for jewelry. This is ideal because it's perfectly flat. So from the surface, you'll see just random drops. Now the longer you keep the nozzle in one place, the more it's going to look like something like a head. So let's see what the second one turned out like. Very similar, but this time there's... Get it on camera would help, wouldn't it? Well, still slippery. There it is. And they are very, very glass-like. So I'm going to make some more and we'll see what we get. Now this one looks really human-like. Actually, I'm not sure about human-like now I've cleaned that off. It almost looks like some kind of head and body, and then you have some arms coming off. I see something different now I've cleaned it up. It's very, very odd. And the good thing is as well with this, there's no sharp edges. There will be nothing sharp on these at all. Now what's happening is the heat created by the curing of the UV resin is lowering the viscosity of the shampoo. So they're beginning to sink a little bit quicker. But you can just let that cool down before you move on to the next piece. I'm loving this one. The colours through this one should be really incredible. So this one, what I'm seeing is this is the back of a person and this is their head. And they're kind of looking down, maybe hunched over. Do you see what I mean? That could be an arm. I don't know. What do you see? They're so slippery. Even after cleaning it off, that's because the surface is so shiny. It's like a finish you'd never get in a mold. Now with this one, I'm not quite sure if I'm seeing an elephant. It could just be the way I looked at it. Where did I see the part that looks like an elephant? I think it was this part that looks like a trunk coming down, but I'm not sure if I'm seeing it now it's cleaned up. And the bubbles in there look like eyes. They're still crazy. You may be seeing something completely different. But to me, oh looks like the rear legs and the tail maybe. I'm still seeing the elephant. There we have just a simple swirl. Not sure what that one looks like, but these kind of loops as well are really handy to have because we can attach things to those to make them hang as pendants or whatever you want. Okay, let's try and go with a big one. haven't tried it with this resin before. I've only tried it with a higher viscosity resin. But what I need is a flat base. You can see it's almost reached the bottom. Now I'm seeing something very, very alien upside down here. This could be pretty incredible. Okay, I'm super excited for this one because it looked really, really alien-like. It's big. The bigger they are, the longer they take to cure. So I'm going to clean this off and pop it back under the lamp just to make sure that it's definitely cured all the way through. Now that is crazy. I'm lucky I've got the flat bottom as well. Where I quickly drizzled the UV resin in the middle, it attached to the rest of the bigger body that I poured in. It's got some bubbles in there, which I think just add to the piece. And that is crazy. Again, I'm seeing some kind of alien creature there, definitely. Let's see what this one has come out like. It's quite heavy to pick up with the tweezers anyway. And there we have it. I'm noticing it's very similar. This part here, I mean, isn't that strange? And we had a smaller one that I thought looked like an elephant that also had, I mean, that could be a family. How peculiar. There's me saying no two pieces will be the same, but they all kind of look identical in a way, but they're not. The formation is there. That's crazy. Maybe I'm just swirling it the same way into the shampoo, but it's pretty difficult to get two pieces to look so alike. But then this one has a very big blob here, but I love the base on this. It's going to stand really nicely, and I'm hoping I can get some colour to really bounce around. You can see the colour that you're seeing at the moment is actually from my backdrops on my desk. I think one more big one and then I'm going to stop there. As always, massive shout out to my channel members, anyone who's bought me a coffee, or a super thanks to all my subscribers. If you haven't subbed, it is free. Just hit that button for me, help support the channel grow. Okay, did we get anything different with the last one? That's very, very different compared to the others. What do you see? I don't know what I see in that one. It's just abstract. So you will see we have some really quite interesting pieces of resin art that we could then take to another level. Obviously these bigger ones I don't think would suit being worn as like a piece of jewellery, because they're just not, they're too big and bulky. But some of these, definitely this one, some of the smaller ones, and this one, we're going to turn into something a bit more stunning, hopefully. So what I was initially thinking is vinyl. Wow. But it's going to be quite fiddly to try and get that, you know, cut perfectly to the base of one of the pieces. That really does pop through, doesn't it? It's going to be quite fiddly because I'd have to somehow trace the exact measurements, apply it, and then resin over the top. I think that's going to be too fiddly. So what I'm thinking is nail foils. Really quick and easy way of doing this. All I would need to do is skim the base with some UV resin, rest that on the foil, cure it, and then peel that off, and that will transfer the foil onto the base, hopefully, fingers crossed, and it should pop the colours through. I might have to apply a black layer of resin over the foil afterwards, but we'll see when we get to that stage. So there's 10 different rolls in here. I'm not going to go through them all, and you can see it's a little bit messy, and they're kind of nail foils have to be put on a certain way up. Many of you already know that I struggled with this first time I used them in one of my videos, but if you get a bit of tape and just stick the tape to one side and pull the tape off, if it peels away the colour, you know you've got the right side. If it doesn't, flip it over and try it on the other until you know which side is the right side to transfer, like this. And this is a tip you viewers gave me. I don't know whether that's showing up on camera because I really was struggling to find out. There you go. See, it's peeled off the colour, so I know it's that side up that I need to transfer it onto. Got some UV resin in this cup. Just using a toothpick, I'm going to just skim over the base. Try not to drizzle it down inside the gaps. And then I can lay this on top of the foil and pop it under the lamp. Should be really quick and easy, he says. So I'm going to place that on. My torch would probably do for this instead of getting the beast out. I'll just give it a part cure. Then I should be able to lift the whole thing up and cure it from underneath like that. Now what I want to see happen is when I peel this off, the transfer comes off, and I want the colour to be bouncing through. It is bouncing through. Look at that. That's incredible. So I don't know whether to back that now with a black. Look at that colour popping through. That's really intense. Or a white. I think what I'm going to do is do some of the others and then go from there. But I'm not going to show you me sticking them all on because you've seen the process. Okay, I did them all, but I am definitely thinking I definitely need to put a black layer. You see the stars in this one? That was a really crazy nail foil. I'll pop the link in the description box below for those, in case you do decide to get them. So yeah, I'm thinking just a really thin black layer. I've got some, nope, that's already set. I'm just going to mix a little bit of black mica powder in some UV resin and just skim the base of all of them. I wasn't going to do the foils on all of them, but it was so quick and easy, I thought I might as well. Plus there might be one that you'd really want to see finished, so I thought I might as well just quickly do them all. So the best way to do this, many of you have got like containers, you've told me in the comments before, full of rice or sand, and you can push the pieces in and then back them, which is really handy, but I don't have either of those in my studio. So all I'm going to do is just skim. You can do it section by section if you want. It's entirely up to you. If you're even going to do this, you might just be here to see the results. You could cure in sections and then move on. But what I'm going to do is just hold it and do it. Use my torch to flash cure it, and then I can cure it under my lamp. so I know it's not going to run everywhere. As you can see, just that really thin amount of black has really brought out that colour so much more. Look at that. That's crazy. And this is with a second coat. Pops it even more. So I'm just going to do this to all of them. That's crazy. Look at that. Right, we're all done. That was the most time consuming part actually, was backing them all with black. As always, give the video a thumbs up, drop me a comment even if it's just a smiley face, and again hit that sub button for me if you haven't already. What would I do differently next time? I think I'd keep the larger ones clear because the colour doesn't seem to, I mean it does, but the base, the colour's more prominent on the base than what it is on the body, but then at certain angles the colour really does bounce through. So I'm not overly disappointed, but what I would do differently next time is potentially just keep the larger ones clear. Love the bubbles in there. I didn't realise how much I'd missed this technique, and I haven't done it for a while, but it does produce some absolutely epic resin art pieces. Right, I don't want to be here forever showing you these. Again, with this one you can see the star formation's better on the base than anywhere else, but some of the colour does pop through, just not as much as I'd liked or would have liked. And this one is a bit weird. I don't know about this one. It has an organic look to it, but it doesn't stand up very well. I would have liked the base to be bigger, but again you can join these together if you wanted to. You can add them, UV resin them, glue them together to make even bigger abstract pieces. Yeah, I think keep the bigger ones clear next time. Just don't add the black background. I'm working down in size. This is the one that I saw the elephant. Got some crazy little bubbles in there. Love it. Now we move on to the smaller ones, which I think turned out best. I'm not sure about that one for a piece of jewellery, because it's just, I like symmetry, but it is different. These are the kind of things that you want to be turning into pendants. That is incredible. And again, it has the handy loops that you could just attach a bail to, or a piece of rope, but the colours really do pop in that one. Did I show this one? This is one that I think I did in a previous video, and it had a flat back, so I thought I'd transfer some foil onto that one and do the same with that. That's not from this video, but again it just shows you what you can achieve. This one's really funky. Let me know in the comments what you think. But I think they look much better than what they did in the previous video, just kept plain. And the nail foils really do it, I think. I'm not too sure on that one. And if you keep it simple, like swirls, you could turn those into earrings, whatever you want to do with them, or a pendant. It's got like a tiny bead of resin there stuck. Did I show that one? I can't remember. I think this one was my favourite. Absolutely stunning. Let's finish that one off. I'm not sure on that bail. I think we could do better than that. So I think just something like that, maybe not that blue colour, but you could easily just get away with wearing that like that, I think. And there it is, all done. So there you go, abstract resin art jewelry. Really easy to make, and they pack a punch. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you for the next one. Bye for now.